Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into two essential reading techniques that can save you time and boost your comprehension: skimming and scanning. Whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who loves to read, these techniques are invaluable. Let's get started. Skimming is a reading technique used to get a general idea of the content. It's like taking a quick glance or quick look at the text to understand the main points without going into detail. And here's how you can do it effectively. You can read the title, the headings and subheadings, look at any images, charts, or graphs, read the first and last paragraphs, and read the first sentence of each paragraph. By doing this, you can quickly get the overall message of the text. We use skimming to read the title, and from the example, the title of the text is Hot Chili. And it's so obvious because the style of the text is very bold. It's a bold text, which means that it's thicker and darker than the regular ones. And of course, it's at the beginning of the text. Another is there is a picture of a chili. For the second part of the text, you can find the different continents, and there's a map, which means that you use the skimming. You also use the skimming to read the heading. So for this example, the title of the heading is the SHU process. It's so obvious that this is the title of the heading. Another is you also need to use the skimming to find out that there's also a graph. And you don't know the details of the graph, but you know that this graph has something important information regarding the text. So the last part of the text is this one, and you also need to use skimming to read the heading. And as you can see, there are like three headings. Why? Because the text is bigger than the others. Okay, the first heading is the capsaicinoids, and for you, you don't know the meaning of this term. Another is contact. Another is receptors. Meaning to say that these three headings have something to do with your answers later on. On the other hand, scanning is a technique used to find specific information quickly. It's like searching for a keyword in a sea of text. So here's how to scan effectively. First is you know what you're looking for. It could be a date, a number, a name, or a specific term. Second, move your eyes quickly down the page and looking for the keyword or phrase. Again, move your eyes quickly. And third, once you find the specific term or a date or name, read the surrounding text or read the words near the specific term or the date or a name or number to get the information you need. So scanning is very perfect for finding specific details without reading the entire text. In answering any reading activity, you have to find the keywords. So here you can have this question: when was Chile introduced to India? And there are four choices, but then focus on the keywords or the important words from the question. So you have Chile, introduced, India. So what you need to do is to find the words Chile, introduce, and India in the text. Second question is, what is the hottest chili mentioned in the text? Okay, and there are four choices. So from the question, you can find the keywords, and the keywords are hottest, chili, and it's from the text. And of course, find the four choices like Scotch bonnet, cayenne pepper, serrano, and jalapeno. And the third question is the way that chili heat is measured by people can be unreliable. When we say unreliable, it means false. Unreliable means not to be trusted. Unreliable means not clear. So from this sentence itself, you can find out the keywords like chili, heat, measured by people, and of course, you know the meaning unreliable means not clear. And the question is explain what makes it unreliable. So, meaning to say, explain what makes it not clear. Because from the question is the way that the heat of the chili is measured by people is not clear. They don't know how to measure, or maybe it's not clear how you measure the heat of the chili. And you have here referring to the text. Explain what makes it not clear or unreliable by looking back at the text or passage to find out the specific information or details, or simply, when we say referring to the text, it means you need to use the passage, you need to use the story or the text, the written words, to help you answer the questions correctly. So, again, you will be using some words from the text, from the story, or from the written words for you to explain the question. So, we will start from the very beginning, which means that we're going to start with the title, which is the hot chili. And under the title, you can find like three keywords or three important ideas. Okay, the first one is a fruit from the capsicum genus. For you, like we have no idea what's the meaning of capsicum genus, but it is a fruit. Okay, hot chili or chili peppers are fruits. And from the second part, it contains capsaicinoids. Capsaicinoids. So this word capsaicinoids, if you're going to look at it, it seems to me that it's a science, right? It's a scientific word. Okay, and it has something to do with the capsicum. And then you have also the Scoville heat units, or the SHU. Again, there is a term SHU, which means Scoville heat units measures the heat of the capsaicinoids. Meaning to say, measure means count. So, in the first text or the first part of the text, chili peppers are fruits from the capsicum genus containing capsaicinoids, and the heat of the hot chili is measured in SHU, also known as Scoville heat units. The second part of the text, if you're going to use the scanning, there is a keyword, and the keyword is India. Okay, so obviously look at the words surrounding the word India, and you can find the answer. Taken from South America to India by the Portuguese 1584 CE. Okay, so as you can see, like you can find the answer on the part about India. But if you're going to understand the whole text, you can find that chili peppers evolve around 750 BCE. Okay, when we say evolved, it means developed. It developed in the wild around 7,500 BCE. And the chilies were domesticated. When we say domesticated, it means it was grown. Okay, chilies were grown for human use. So before they were wild plants, and when people decided to put it in a farm to domesticate to grow, okay, it's around 5,000 BCE. Okay, and then they were taken from South America to Spain in 1493 CE. Okay, so it means that if you're going to look at the text, there is a map of South America, and then there's an arrow going to Spain. So, as you can see there, you can find taken from South America and carried on Columbus' second voyage to Spain. So, meaning to say, Columbus is a person, okay? And Columbus had the second travel to Spain, from South America to Spain. So, travel, voyage, they are the same. And then it spread globally. And as you can see here, there are some few information about chilies. For example, like the British Indian curry dish fowl produces chili fumes, and when you say fumes, it has something to do with the air, so strong that chefs wear gas masks. So it's a very popular dish, and it's a very strong dish. Another is that Thailand, there's an arrow going to the Thailand country. Chili powder used to ward off meaning turn away wild elephants from farmers' crops in Thailand. So meaning to say, they use the chili powder to turn away all the elephants, because like that's the problem of the farmers. Okay, when we say farmers crops, these are like the plants of the farmers, and the wild elephants are using the crops, okay, the plants of the farmers. So they use the chili, the people from Thailand use the chili powder to turn away all the elephants. And as you can see in the map, you can find Central America, South America, Europe, and South Asia, because this is also another indication that you need to these are very important info. But then again, you can find the word India at the bottom, taken from South America to India by the Portuguese 1584 CE. The third part of the text is the SHU process. SHU meaning Scoville heat units is the measurement of the hotness of the chili pepper. And then at the side, you can find a graph representing how hot are the types of chili peppers. And as you can see, obviously, you know what's the answer. The hottest among the four, which is the Scotch bonnet, followed by the cayenne pepper, and then the serrano and the jalapeno. So Scotch bonnet SHU is 350,000 SHU, followed by the cayenne pepper, which is 50,000 SHU. Then the serrano chili pepper, 10,000 SHU. And then last is jalapeno, the least one, which is 5,000 SHU. So there you can find on the graph which which of the following has the hottest chili. Okay, and then on the side you find the process on how you identify the hotness of the chili peppers. So the process is, first, dissolve the dried pepper in alcohol, so only the capsaicinoids are left, meaning to say, when you dissolve, it means to break down. So you're going to break down the dried pepper and put it into an alcohol, okay? So that there will be leaving of the capsaicinoids. And then after that, second part is to dilute. Dilute means to weaken. How are you going to weaken the hotness, right? The capsaicinoids. So you have to put the sugar water. And then the third is to taste the diluted mixture. So you have to taste the dried pepper in the sugar water. So after that, repeat steps 2 and 3 until the heat is no longer detected. So the word detected means to find. So you have to repeat steps 2 and 3. Okay, until the heat is no longer that you cannot find the heat. And the fifth is to award. Award here means to give. Okay, give a heat level of 100 SHU for every repeated dilution. So every time that you will go back to steps 2 and 3, then it means that you will give at least 100 SHU. Okay? Now look at the words. Dissolve means break down. Dilute means to weaken. And you know the word taste. Another is to repeat. Detected means to find. Award means to give. So the first word from the processes are the first words are verbs. Okay, verbs because it's a process. And then there's a note. Heat detection, meaning to say detection means find, right? Because the word detect means find. You will find the heat, okay, or the find heat detection can become less sensitive to the capsaicinoids after tasting a few samples, and the results vary from person to person by as much as 50%. So, meaning to say that vary, okay, the word vary means different. So, some people, okay, some people they think that this pepper is hot. Some people think that some chili peppers are not that hot. Okay, which means that the results are different from person to person as much as 50%. So meaning to say, some people are not sure about the hotness of the heat levels of the chili peppers. And the fourth part of the text is actually kind of scientific, right? And sometimes if you're going to look at this part, you can find really some pictures which can really help you to understand the whole text. So the first part is the capsaicinoids, and obviously you have another which is the dihydrocapsaicin. Okay, dihydrocapsaicin. These are the compounds responsible for the heat. Why the chili peppers are really hot? It's because of the capsaicin and the dihydrocapsaicin. And if you're going to look at the second part, capsaicin and dihydrocapsaicin chemicals. These are the chemicals from the pepper, okay? And if it will come into the contact with the mucous membrane, so meaning to say like a part of your body with mucous membrane, for example, your tongue and even your nose, okay? Then it means that the pain and the heat receptors, the word receptors means receivers, okay, in the tongue react to the capsaicin molecules and send signals to the brain. Meaning to say, if the two compounds, the capsaicin and dihydrocapsaicin, would be into your mouth because your mouth has this mucous membrane, then it means that it will react, okay? And the pain and the heat receivers from the tongue will react from the capsaicin and dihydrocapsaicin, and it will send signals to the brain. So again, in this text, you will find that capsaicin and dihydrocapsaicin are the compounds responsible to the heat, which is measured by dissolving the dried pepper in alcohol and then diluting in sugar water and then tasting the mixture. So the answer for the question, when was chili introduced to India? The answer is 1584 CE. And the source is from the second part of the text. You see that circle taken from South America to India by the Portuguese 1584 CE. So you will use scanning. The second question, what is the hottest chili mentioned in the text? The answer is Scotch bonnet. Why the answer is Scotch bonnet? So it means that you have to look at the graph of the Scoville heat units or the SHU levels. And for the last question, the way that chili heat is measured by people can be unreliable, meaning to say not clear. Explain what makes it unreliable or not clear by referring to the text. So the answer is measuring how hot chili peppers are can be unreliable because you have the word explain. So meaning to say you have to use the word because it depends on people's taste. And as you can see later, you will find out why. The process includes mixing dried pepper in alcohol, adding sugar, water, and then tasting it. Since people have different tastes, the results can be different each time. And to answer the third question, you have to look at the SHU process and identify where where is the answer. And as you can see, you can find it after the steps or the process. So you can see the results vary or different from person to person by as much as 50%. That's why it becomes unreliable. Like any skill, skimming and scanning require practice. So start with shorter text just like earlier and gradually move on to longer ones. And with time, you will become more efficient and confident in your reading abilities. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video very helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. Happy reading!